Peace everyone, Unmasked here, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Ugee 2150. Real quick before getting into the unboxing, full disclosure. About a month ago, an Ugee representative reached out to me and asked if I would be willing to do a review of their 2150 drawing tablet. I agreed, so they sent me this one here for free. However, I'm not being paid to do this, so you can expect my most honest opinion. Anyways, let's get to the unboxing. Okay, before getting on to the review, let me give you some of my background so that you understand my perspective when approaching this review. Not only is this my first ever tablet, this is my very first time ever working on a tablet of any kind ever. I'm a professional traditional artist. Besides a few logos, I've never purely worked in digital art. However, I do have extensive experience with Photoshop, with photography, and other digital designing. Being that it was the first time I'd ever used a tablet, I had quite a learning curve to get past. However, after watching a few tutorials on how to use the tablet, I was able to successfully translate my traditional skills into the digital realm. So now that I've gotten to work with this tablet for the past week, it's really hard not to just say that I like it. I mean, not only do I get the aspect of being able to create on it, but it also works really well as a second monitor, which makes it a great addition to my studio. So before this monitor came in, I scoured the internet and checked to see what people were saying about it. I read all the reviews and everything to prepare myself for what I was getting. Now, before I plugged in the monitor, before I turned it on, and before I plugged it into my computer, I made sure that I read the instruction manual very carefully, though it is very simple, before setting anything up. So I can only imagine the reason that it wouldn't work is that A, your computer isn't well equipped, or B, you didn't follow the instructions. Other than that, I literally plugged it in, turned it on, and everything worked. Before installing any drivers, before installing anything, I opened Photoshop up and the pen drew just like it does now. It has a warranty. In fact, it has a 15-month warranty. As you can see, it's working perfectly well as a dual monitor, and as I've mentioned, it works great as a dual monitor. Okay, so the funny thing about this complaint is it supposedly came from a professional digital artist. However, they don't seem to understand that with a new monitor, it has to be calibrated. Now, I did have to spend some time calibrating this screen to my computer. However, once it was calibrated, it looks wonderful. It looks just like my other screen, which is exactly what I wanted because I spent all the time calibrating this screen. However, it also depends on the hookup that you have. So it has a DVI, VGA, and HDMI, and my computer only has HDMI, but it only has one port. The HDMI is going to my main monitor, and I had to get an adapter to my computer, not because of the monitor, to run a VGA cable to this. And I first started out with the HDMI on this screen, and I noticed that there is a difference between HDMI and VGA, the way the screen will look. So you have to calibrate your screen accordingly. Also, it's not going to look like your MacBook Pro because your MacBook Pro has a Retina screen display. Okay, so as I showed you in the unboxing, you do get a screen protector. And if you have a smartphone, you've probably bought a screen protector for that. And you probably had bubbles on it. And you probably hated putting that screen protector onto your phone. And can you imagine putting it on a screen this size? Of course, it's going to be terrible. In fact, I tried it for like an hour and I gave up. I threw the screen protector away. One, I didn't really care about the privacy thing of the screen, and because it's a drawing tablet, the protective glass screen that you actually draw on, it's the protective glass screen of the screen beneath it. So having a plastic screen protector, it seemed kind of overkill to me, so I ended up just throwing it away anyway. But I have to agree, the screen protector is kind of crappy. Not in quality, however, it doesn't quite fit the screen just right. If you wanted it to fit the screen perfectly, you would have to cut it, which seems kind of troublesome. So since this is my first digital tablet and digital pen, I don't have much experience, so I don't know what you'd look for in a pen as far as it feeling cheap. However, it's well balanced, which makes it feel natural, just like a normal pencil would, and the buttons click well. It has a nice grip on it, and it comes with this really great stand here that you can either put vertically or horizontally. And then also you can open it up and you have all these replacement nibs here. So you have 8 here and you have 8 replacement nibs that come in the extra pack. So I don't know anything about this pen that I would describe as feeling cheap. To me, it feels really great. It feels natural in your hand as well. So like I said, since this is my first tablet and I don't have any experience with other tablets, there's not much I can say about the glossy screen. However, it doesn't bother me. I have no problems with reflection or glare, and everything seems to look great. I've worked with this one for 6 straight hours before, and it has nothing. So I'm not quite sure how steep of an angle you want the brush to draw at, but it seems to work perfectly fine for me. So there may actually be some legitimate concern to this complaint. However, you really only see the distance between the pen and the glass when you're looking at it from a steep angle, and personally I don't draw like that. However, in some cases I actually find it helpful because you don't have to look past the pen when you're drawing a small detail. And it hasn't even been difficult for someone with such limited experience drawing digitally, such as myself. Alright, so the answer to the $1 million question. However, in the case of this monitor, it's the $600 question. So the short answer is yes. I think that this monitor is definitely worth the price that it's listed at, which is right around $600. However, it's not perfect. The first thing that you'll notice about this monitor, it doesn't have expression keys on the side. However, since I'm running with a wireless keyboard, I don't really miss those features. Also, with the pen, when you set this up with the drivers, there are 2 buttons on the side of the pen that you can assign certain actions to. However, you cannot assign custom keystrokes on the keyboard to these buttons, which I really wish that you could. I think they should be able to change that in an update, so Ugee, I hope that you're listening. Make sure that you update that so that you can make custom keystrokes for these buttons. I don't want to just right click and left click with these buttons. I would like to do undo and things like that and be able to write these the way that I want. So other than those two things, I don't really have much negative to say about this monitor. The other thing that is kind of strange about this is the placement for the cords. So the power cord and the HDMI cord and VGA cord, they're right under here, and it's a little bit awkward. I imagine that the cord placement for such a thing would be kind of difficult, but I feel like it would be better if it was on top instead of on the bottom, because you kind of get this curl of the wires underneath. Other than that, I don't really have anything to say. It really translated my traditional skills over to digital so well that that's really all the negative that I can say about it. Alright, so anyway, I hope that you found this review helpful in determining whether or not this monitor is right for you. I would say it's definitely right for me. It worked really well in translating my traditional skills over to digital, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and I'm going to keep having fun with it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.